Hey folks, my name is Mark. This is Why I Hate the World. Quick little video for you guys today because I need to comment on Joe Biden using the power of his presidency to give his son a solid. That's right, Joe Biden has finally decided to quit being a chump and do what he should have done months ago, which is pardon Hunter Biden. So, first off, I'm seeing all over the place on Twitter and social media and all the other places that you would expect to see this kind of thing, that the conservatives are going crazy, they're losing their minds, they're saying that Joe Biden is a tyrant and all this other bullshit, right? And that he should be impeached and blah, 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 and it's shameful for abusing the power of the presidency. Fuck all that. Okay, fuck all that. After 4 years of Donald Trump and seeing all of the ridiculous shenanigans that Trump is getting up to, even before he takes office, it's clear to me that it doesn't matter anymore what a president does. It doesn't matter what a president says. It doesn't matter what his policies are. All that really matters is how people feel, and that determines how popular a president actually is. And how does a president get popular? By doing shit like this, by snubbing the nose of the opposing political party. That's how Donald Trump got popular. That's how he stayed popular. He does the shit that his followers want him to do, which is he pisses off the liberals. Well, how about we do the exact same shit back to them? That's what I see. See, how much good money did we waste in these fucking Hunter Biden laptop fucking investigations, right? That shit went on for, what, a year? 2 years? They had special congressional hearings and all this stuff and dragged Hunter Biden in front of like the entire country, showing him fucking nude pictures of him and shit like that from like a laptop, which was obviously fucking planted. I mean, I've done like multiple videos and streams on the Hunter laptop story, so I'm not going to bother going through it right now, but it's obviously a bullshit story. It's obviously fucking fake. It's obviously a plant, and it's really not believable. And yet they spent hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, wasting everybody's time going through investigating all of this shit so that Hunter Biden could just not be indicted for anything. I mean, the thing he got indicted for was fucking a weapons charge. Because it's like, oh yeah, I guess he was still on drugs or whatever and he bought a gun. It like had nothing to do with the fucking laptop. That's what he got in trouble for. That's what he's being pardoned for. Which, by the way, if you're a Republican, you think is a bullshit charge anyway. I mean, if you're like a Second Amendment supporter, you would think that you wouldn't give a shit if somebody owns a gun, right? Oh no, I guess it fucking matters when that person is the son of the Democratic president who you think is the fucking Antichrist or whatever. And that's the thing about all of this shit. It was like it had nothing to do with the actual president. Oh, Hunter Biden is blah, he's doing drugs, whatever. Oh, he's meeting with people in Ukraine. Great. I'm glad that I'm not going to vote for Hunter Biden in the election. It would be like us dragging Donald Trump Jr. in front of Congress for some shit that he did that had nothing to do with the government whatsoever. Did they do that? No. They didn't even bring fucking his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, up after he took $2 billion from fucking Saudi Arabia. They didn't even fucking do that. So why do we give a fuck what Hunter Biden does in the fucking privacy of his own home? I don't give a shit if the guy does drugs. I don't give a shit if the guy bangs hookers. I don't give a fuck if he works for an energy company in Ukraine through fucking nepotism. I don't give a fuck about any of that stuff. Once it was proven that none of this stuff had anything to do with Joe Biden, the investigation should have ended. But it didn't end. Because Republicans used this in order to smear Joe Biden. And they smeared him and smeared him and smeared him over and over and over for 4 fucking years with shit that didn't fucking matter. That bullshit that just wasn't true. And if you think that this didn't have a hand in Kamala Harris losing the election, then I got a bridge to sell you. Because it did. They did the same thing to Hillary Clinton. You know, the Benghazi thing with Hillary Clinton where they just had her testify for 8 hours straight over and over and over and over again, and they just never allowed that to leave the public eye. And then, lo and behold, Hillary Clinton runs for president, and everybody thinks that she's a crook. It's like, it's the same fucking playbook. It has nothing to do with running the country. It has nothing to do with anything, any function of government at all, except that it's just the Republicans weaponizing the government. And it's bullshit. So I'm glad that he put an end to all of this and just pardoned him, because fucking Hunter Biden is like a victim in all of this shit as far as I'm concerned. His only crime was being a fuck-up son of the president, and the Republicans thought that, oh, well, we can use this to smear Joe Biden with. So fuck him. And if you are upset at this, if you think that Joe Biden is like unethical for doing this shit, that he's like selling pardons or he's using the power of the presidency to benefit himself and his family and his friends, just remember that Donald Trump pardoned Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon, who was his friend, who wasn't even in government at that point, just was a guy that he formerly used to work with. Steve Bannon took it upon himself to scam Trump supporters out of millions of dollars to build the stupid fucking wall that Mexico was supposed to pay for, by the way. But no, I mean, it was bullshit, and so they used that to collect donations, and they collected like $10 million or some fucking ridiculous amount like that, and they didn't build any wall with it. And Steve Bannon personally stole $1 million of that money. And they caught him on a yacht. I don't understand how you could have optics worse than that. Guy rips people off for $1 million, and then like the FBI finds him on his private fucking yacht. Like, I don't know, what the fuck was he doing? Smoking cigars and banging hookers or something? Who even fucking knows? And Donald Trump pardoned him for that. Why? Because it was his friend. Okay, not because he didn't do it. Right? Like, that's what the pardon is supposed to be for. Like, pardons are supposed to be for people who get screwed by the justice system. And, like, stuff like that. People that everybody knows, oh, he didn't do it or whatever, and then the president is supposed to let him off. That's what pardons are supposed to be for. And Donald Trump didn't treat him like that. So why should Joe Biden treat him like that either? I mean, I guess I would even say, in Hunter Biden's case, it's like, I think he should have been pardoned a year ago. That's what I would have done if I was president. And you know what I would have said when people criticize me? You can kiss my giant, hairy, flabby butt cheeks. And here's the last thing I want to say about this. You know, I mentioned before when we just started, it seems like being a popular president has nothing to do with what you actually do while you're in office. And that seems to be what the new reality is. You know, way back in the day, back in the 80s and 90s and stuff, you could get knocked out of the running for president for just saying something incorrectly. You could just fucking, like, scream a little loud, you know, like Howard Dean. You know, you could just do a primal scream like that, and that would knock you out from being president. Not anymore. Not anymore. Now it's, you can pretty much just say whatever you want, do whatever you want. Your actual past record doesn't fucking matter anymore. I mean, that's what Donald Trump did. Donald Trump straight up tried to fucking pull a coup d'etat when he lost last time. And people fucking voted for his ass again. He straight up said that we should suspend the Constitution and do everything possible to get him back into power after he lost in 2020. And people voted for him again. He spent the last 4 years crying like a pathetic baby that the election was stolen and blah, 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 and coming up with all of these dipshit conspiracy theories and all this ridiculous horse shit. And people still fucking elected his ass, all right? He made a complete fool of himself during the debate with Kamala Harris talking about cats, people eating cats and dogs and shit. I think that was a low point in, like, American democracy here when we're talking about that stuff. People still fucking voted for his ass, okay? So it doesn't matter what you actually do. It doesn't matter what you actually say. The only thing that really matters, it seems, is just how people feel. And people forgot what a fuck-up Donald Trump was, and that's why he got reelected. So in the long scheme of things, people are going to forget this too, right? Because it doesn't fucking matter anymore. You might as well just do whatever the fuck you want, because that's what our country has turned into. Right? That's what a banana republic is, by the way, when the person in power just does whatever the fuck they want because there's no consequences. That's what we're approaching, folks. That's what's going to happen. So I think, you know, if it's okay for them to do it, it should be okay for the Democrats to do it, right? One good turn deserves another. And if you don't like it, fuck you. I think that's the answer that we're all going to get. Because that's what they say to us whenever they do shit that we don't like. Anyway, folks, it's all fucked up now. And we are all going to enter the find out phase. And I don't know. I'm not looking very optimistic about anything that's coming next year. But God willing, we'll all survive. So everybody, stay cool, stay safe, have a Merry Christmas or whatever. And I will talk to you later. Adios.
Hello folks, if you like what I do and you want to support the channel, please consider buying something from my Etsy shop, supporting me on Patreon, liking and subscribing, and checking me out across my social media links listed below. Thank you all so much, and see you next time.